What's good, sports fans? Are you ready to elevate your live entertainment experience? Well, let me introduce you to SeatGeek, an amazing platform that connects you to your favorite events while saving you money. With SeatGeek, you can easily find tickets for sports games, concerts, and so much more, all in one place. The interface is user-friendly, making it simple to browse and compare prices. And one of the best features is the interactive seating chart. You can see exactly where you'll be sitting and how much you'll be spending, ensuring you get the best value for your money. But here's the best part. Check this out. By using my promo code, ChalkItUpSports, you can enjoy a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. That's right, $20 off your first SeatGeek order. Imagine catching that thrilling game or concert without breaking the bank. It's a win-win situation. Plus, you'll be a part of a community of fans who eat, sleep, and breathe live events just as much as you do. So what are you waiting for? Click the link in the description to download the SeatGeek app today. And don't forget to use my promo code ChalkItUpSports for a one-time $20 discount on your first SeatGeek order. Get excited. Now let's get back to the show. I want to focus on Nick Sirianni and his antics, just to put it bluntly. His antics. And I say this because I'm of the firm belief that Nick Sirianni is at a crossroads in his tenure as the Philadelphia Eagles head coach. We all know Nick Sirianni's job has been called into question ever since the 10-1 collapse, right? A lot of people felt like Nick Sirianni never had the answers to the equation. That is Jalen Hurts. A lot of people feel like Jalen Hurts got to where he is because of Shane Steichen, not because of Nick Sirianni. And at this point, I tend to agree. But Nick Sirianni is the head coach, and you would like to think that he has some sort of plan of action to help the young quarterback continue to develop through the constant lay of the land when it comes to coaching turnover. Listen, OCs that do well, they get head coaching jobs. DCs that do well, they may get a head coaching job. Right now, OCs are in, but it's just the way it is, right? So we knew Shane Steichen wasn't going to be here forever, but we thought at the very least we got Nick Sirianni here. He should be able to weather the storm. He should be able to pivot from Shane Steichen. He should be able to develop a situation where everybody should be able to win. And Nick Sirianni hasn't really done that to the point where Harry Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie decided to bring in Kellen Moore and Vic Fangio to bring some experience in the building, coming off of a season where you had Brian Johnson and Sean Desai, who didn't really have any experience doing the job that you asked them to do. So you bring in Kellen Moore to run your offense. You bring in Vic Fangio to run your defense. And in game one, we saw the Kellen Moore offense. But ever since week one, it seems like Nick Sirianni's fingerprints have been growing on this offense when he's not supposed to be touching it, right? So that's that. But as far as how he moves, as far as his personality, look, when Nick Sirianni first got here, I liked him. Listen, I'm a rah-rah guy. You know, I'm a guy that likes, corny motivational speeches. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm real big on movies and trying to find that scene or that clip or that line in the script that's really profound and trying to bring it to real life and use it metaphorically, so on and so forth. Like, as a person outside of football, I like Nick Sirianni. I met him. He's a gentleman. Good dude. Walk with a little swagger. You feel me? Beautiful family, beautiful wife. He's a good person outside of football. He rides for his guys, right? You would think that a guy like Nick Sirianni would be a great guy to have in your organization as the head coach, but the problem with Nick Sirianni is that he doesn't have any tact. He doesn't have any situational awareness. There's nothing wrong with being an emotional guy. Nothing wrong with being passionate about what you do. I want people in the building who are passionate about what they do. Trust me. I want people in the building who are passionate about what they do, right? But there's a fine line between passion and buffoonery. There's a fine line between passion and buffoonery. And when you're winning and when you're dominating opponents, oh yeah, we digest that as passion. Now you got some people who didn't like him from the get-go. You know, it started from the opening press conference. And me personally, at the time, I didn't hold the press conference against him. I didn't. I promise you guys I didn't. I was one of the people that said, listen, first time at the podium like that, you know, nerves. It's a big gig. It's a high-profile gig. You know, I'm not going to judge a guy based off of one opening press conference. I want to judge him based off of his football decisions. So that was my mindset then. But then you come to realize, hold on, wait, this guy truly doesn't have it doesn't. There's no amount of PR training Sirianni can take, and he just doesn't know. He just doesn't know how to handle press conferences. He doesn't know how to answer questions. He rambles. He's on the sideline jawing with fans. I mean, he's just all over the place. He's coming in on game day with a shaved head, looking like Hitman. Like Nick Sirianni, I don't know what he's going through right now. I know he's feeling the pressure, though. That's a fact. I know he's feeling the pressure. And I know he's heard all the rumors about his job. I'm sure he's heard all the conspiracy theories and all the criticism. I know he's heard it all. I know he has. And when your in-game decision-making is being called into question, when your sideline antics are being put on full display, and you're not calling the plays on offense, so we would like to hope, and you're not calling the plays on defense, that's a bad mix. That's a cocktail for disaster. Because now we walk around and we say, what's your value? What do you bring to the table? Can we trust you? Can we depend on you to be a grown man? 40 plus years old. Here's my perspective. Here's my perspective, man. Like I said, Nick Sirianni is at a major crossroads, and he has to decide what his next step will be beyond this point. He's apologizing for saying what he's saying on the sideline and doing what he was doing. Look, as the head coach, you have a responsibility to be a stabilizing force on the field, at the podium, at practice, in the locker room, in the film room. I can go on and on. When you are the head coach of a football team in the National Football League, when you are the head coach of a multi-billion-dollar organization, you have to move a certain way. You have to control yourself. I'm passionate. Trust me, I'm a passionate dude. You guys watch my show. Y'all know how I get down. Y'all know how I give it up. I give passion. I give electricity. I like to rattle the cage sometimes. Sometimes I have a gladiator mindset where I just, you know what I mean? I understand passion. I get that. I understand that more than people may think. If you know me in real life, if you know me outside of this forum, you know what you see is what you get. I'm passionate. Wear my heart on my sleeve. It's hard for me to hide how I feel. If I don't say it, you're going to see it. You dig me? And that just goes for the people that know me outside of this box here. So There's nothing wrong with being a passionate dude. Sirianni, when he came here, he showed us his passion. He's always worn his heart and his soul on his sleeve since his first year in Philadelphia. So his behavior after that Browns game isn't really that surprising. But there's a time and a place for everything. Remember the Chiefs game last year? He was drawing at Chiefs fans. Remember the Colts game in 2022? He was talking about this is for Frank Reich. Remember at the Super Bowl, he's over there. I don't know what he was doing. He was jawing with somebody or waving at somebody, and Jalen Hurts had to tell him, "Yo, bro, put your hand down, man. We in the thick of battle. We are in the heat of combat. We are in the heat of conflict. I don't have time to babysit you, my G. You are the head coach. I need you here with me. I don't need you out there worrying about what they saying. I need you to focus." So this isn't something that's new that we've seen from Nick Sirianni. This isn't something new. But we said this a long time ago, did we not? All this banter, this rah-rah shit, it's cool when you win it. It's cool when you win it. But when you're losing, you better tone that shit down. Remember he wore the Beat Dallas shirt and Dallas smoked us on national television, Monday Night Football? Remember that? So it's just, he has to be more tactful. You have to know your position. You have to have self-awareness. You got to be able to read the room. And Akbar, you bring up a great point. I want to read this really quickly. Shout out to my man Akbar Divine 45 because I think he brings up a great point. And I actually tend to let me just read it. Akbar Divine says, "Tone, you from Philly. You should know we care about his coaching, not his passion. We don't give a fuck about him shouting at us. He kind of acted like he was from here. Nah, Akbar. You're right. We do care about his coaching, right? We come from the school of Andy Reid. We come from the school of Buddy Ryan, right? Dick Vermeil. You dig what I'm saying? We come from that. We come from that. So his coaching is very important, right? But here's the thing, bro. I'm from Philly. You right. Born and raised all my life. I just got to Texas last year. I'm Philly through and through. You dig me? But here's the problem, Akbar. Even though I agree with the first part of your statement, here's my problem. He's not from here. He's not a fan. He's not a player on the D line or whatever. He's a coach. He's the face of your organization, along with the quarterback. Your head coach, your quarterback, and your GM, those three people are the face of your organization. They are at the forefront. They are the head of the snake. They are the head of the hydra. They are the three-headed monster at the gate of Hades. So when you have a high-profile responsibility as the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, you have to have a certain level of maturity about you. When you're not even just the Philadelphia Eagles, the NFL, again, the head coach, you got to be a stabilizing force. Leave that for the players. And Doug, I can't believe I forgot about Doug. But leave that for the players to do that shit. Let the players be your voice. Let your passion bleed through the players. We don't need you on the sideline doing that when you're already under a microscope. You see, if you would have smoked them, blew them out, whatever it may be, all right, fuck it. You smoked them. I'll roll with it. You smoked them. But you only won the game by 4 points. The Browns, who are 1-4, I believe they're 1-5 now. They're terrible right now. And you You want to get rah-rah, you want to get excited about beating the Browns? Nah, I'm not jacking that. Again, Ekbar, I agree with the first part of your statement. But I'm not going to sit here and give him some sort of he acted like he was from here. I don't care about him shouting at us. It's not about like him shouting at us. Like I don't, and we're going to get to that. Because me personally, I don't need no fucking apology. I feel like the apology was unnecessary because I admire authenticity. I admire authenticity. I respect consistency. At the very least, at least I know what I'm getting from you. At least I know what you are. But don't zig and all of a sudden zag. Don't tuck your tail now. Be you. Lean in it. Because at the end of the day, you got to respect it. You may not like it. You may not like it, but you got to respect it, right? It's so many people that do different things in life. We may not agree with it. We may not rock with it. But damn, they consistent. They consistent. And I got to respect the game. I got to respect somebody who stands 10 toes in who they are, even if I disagree, even if I hate them. That's why me personally, I don't like covert, and this is going to be a sidebar. I'm about to go left, so follow me. I don't like covert racism. I like overt racism. I like to know who I'm dealing with. I like to know, that's the racist right there. I don't like the sneaky, passive-aggressive prejudice. I like knowing exactly who made the potato salad before I get a spoonful of that shit. So again, I respect authenticity. I respect consistency, even if I disagree with it. Because you know what I can do? I can say, you know what? That person's predictable. I know what they are. They don't hide they don't throw a stone and hide their hand. They don't masquerade as something they not or try to be something they not. They keep it a buck. It is what it is. They roll with it. Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I was talking to the fans. I got a little excited. We was on a bye week. We ain't played football in 2 weeks. I got a little excited. Forgive me. And we move on. But you apologize and all that kind of stuff. And then, oh my God, I'm getting ahead of myself, right? I'm getting ahead of myself. And then you bring the kids to the press conference. He tried to explain that or whatever. But then he brings the kids to the press conference. And typically, he's no stranger to bringing the kids up there. He's brought his son up there before. He's brought his daughter up there before. He's always brought them, maybe he brought 2 at a time or whatever it may be. I don't recall him ever bringing the whole crew. I don't recall that. Me personally. I could be wrong. But me, I'm going to get to your comments. I'm going to get to your super chats, y'all. Trust me, I got you. Just keep on doing y'all. I got you. Just know that your super chats are loaded, and I'm going to pull the trigger. I got you guys. Let me get this off the screen. He brings the kids up there. I got to be honest with you. I didn't like that. I didn't like it. Timing is everything. You guys. Timing is everything. I'm not telling Nick Sirianni to change. I'm telling him to exercise tact. Have timing. Right? Have timing. Again, he's brought his kids up to the presser before. That's not a new thing. But he's normally brought them up after like big wins, big games, like legitimate moments, like the playoffs or going to the Super Bowl. The NFC champ. He's had moments like when he's brought the kids up. And he's done it in the regular season too. I'm not going to pretend like he has done it before. But at that moment, the optics to me looked like he was trying to soften whatever criticism he was going to get. That's what it looked like to me. Now, guess what? In his heart of hearts, he probably don't feel like he did that. He probably don't feel like in his heart, because again, I don't know that man's heart. I don't know him personally. And look, I'm making a lot of assumptions about him right now. You see, I'm able to give my opinion, even if it's vivacious. I'm able to give my opinion and also acknowledge, I may be being a little unfair. Right? I have the self-awareness to say, you know what? Even though I'm saying what I'm saying and I believe it, I'm probably being unfair. But guess what? I feel how I feel about it. Even though it may be a little even though some people may be taken aback by it. But I feel like he brought them kids up there to soften the blow or whatever he was going to get. I mean that. I believe that. But guess what? In his heart, in his mind, he probably don't believe that. He probably really brought the kids up because they probably was like, Dad, can we come up today? Please, please. It's been a while. You know, you told us this week, but you told us next week, but now next week is here. Or you told us last week, but we didn't come. You know, I think this was the first home win, right? This was the first. I don't want to speak out of turn here. Make sure I got this correct. Yeah, this was the first home win. The first home win. So, the kids probably was at the game, and he probably said, "All right, I'll bring you up. I'll bring you up. When the game's over, or whatever." Or he probably said, "Okay, I'll bring it up if we win. If we win the first home game, I'll bring you guys up. Yay, Dad! Yeah, we're going on the podium again." You feel what I'm saying? He probably already had. Again, this is me trying to be fair-minded, even though I feel how I feel. See how easy that is? I feel how I feel, but I still want to acknowledge an alternative scenario. There's a strong chance that he already planned on bringing the kids up there if they won that game. Probably told them on the way to work, on the way to the game. All right, y'all, listen, I'll bring you up if we win. But then when you couple that with the sideline antics, and now the national media is taking your damn head off, you look silly. It look crazy. The optics don't look good. And sometimes perception is not reality. But guess what? In this business, perception is all we have. Because no one cares about the reality. No one cares about the truth. No one cares about context. People care about what you did for me lately. People care about how things look. No one cares about how you feel. They care about how things look. This is the business we in. This is life. This is life. If your chick or if your man goes out at 11 o'clock at night and they say, "Oh, yeah, I'm just meeting up with one of my coworkers." "Oh, yeah, who is it?" "Oh, you know Cherie. Oh, you know David." Hold on, wait. Just you and Cherie? Hold on, wait. Just you and David? Nah, that don't smell right to me. No, baby, seriously, we're just friends. And guess what? In your heart, you may know Cherie ain't no threat to you. You may know David ain't no threat to you, brother. But guess what? The optics, how it looks. Don't let one of your homies be outside and see your lady or your man with Cherie or David. The optics. Hey, listen, brother. It couldn't be me. It couldn't be me, brother. Again, you may not see Cherie as a threat. You may not see David as a threat. And they really may not be one. You may know Cherie. Cherie may got a man. David may got a whatever. The optics. Perception. Assumptions. Optics are important in life. Why are we trying to act like optics don't matter? In business, in media, in industries, in corporations, in the news. Optics matter in real life. It's the equivalent of, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's how you package it. I could tell my wife, hey, listen, you hurt my feelings when you said that. I understand what you were trying to get across, but it just didn't ring well for me. And I just want you to know that. And I'm not really feeling too good about it. See how I came a little, I was humble about it. I acknowledged my displeasure, but I also acknowledged, hey, I think I know what you were trying to do, but it still hurt me. Now, what if I say, you know what, B, you should have never said that. That hurt, like going crazy. And I'm still trying to get the same point across, but how I packaged it. You feel what I'm saying? It's not what you say, it's how you say it. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's not where you are, or it's not where you're going, it's how you get there. Like, this isn't just a sport we're talking about. We're talking about business. We're talking about an industry here. They only play 1 day a week. The rest of it is practice and media. The NFL is arguably the biggest sports product in the world. When you're a head coach, or when you're a franchise quarterback, you're expected to be presidential. That's why optics matter. See, I'm not going to pretend like optics don't matter here, because at the end of the day, public relations exist for a reason. If we expect Jalen Hurts to be buttoned up and presidential, if we expect Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson to be professionals, buttoned up, presidential, representing the organization, if we expect Josh Allen, or we expect Deshaun Watson, or we expect Russell Wilson, or Justin Fields, or Kyler Murray, or Anthony Richardson, or CJ Stroud, we expect the franchise guy to be presidential. We expect him to represent the organization in the best way possible. We expect him to be a grown-ass man at the podium. And those brothers be coming into the league 20, 21, 22, 23. Young men still don't know they left from their right yet, still figuring out life. And we expect them to be presidential, but we can't expect that from a 40-plus old man. Get the fuck out of here. Stop it. If we expect a 20, 21, 22-year-old to come in this league as a quarterback and be presidential, we expect Caleb Williams to be presidential, right? We expect Jaden Daniels to be presidential, right? We expect all these guys to come in and be buttoned up. No matter what's going on, no matter how they feel, win, lose, or draw, be a man about it, King. Be a professional, King. Nick Sirianni needs to be more of a professional. If we expect that from the quarterback, we got to expect that from the head coach. I see some people trying to say, that's so Philly. What? What? And again, we wouldn't care about this stuff if his coaching was good and the team was winning. But when you couple all the variables, the Jalen Hurts turnover issues, the inconsistency on defense, the lackluster play calling, the 10-1 collapse. When you link those together, when you couple those together, and then you throw in the Nick Sirianni sideline antics, you barely beat the Browns 20-16. They're one of the worst teams in the league right now. When you put all that into the gumbo, when you put all that into the stew, it don't taste right. Something is off. Did you put too much salt? Is it too much pepper in this shit? Yo. Pull back on the garlic salt. God damn. How much Old Bay did you put on these fries? You dig what I'm saying? Optics are important in business. Optics are important in life. It's the truth. It's unfortunate, but it's the truth. It's the truth. If you're a business owner and you holding interviews And one young man comes in with a suit and a briefcase, and the other young man come in with sweatpants and a t-shirt, who you hiring? And guess what? The brother in the sweatpants and t-shirt probably is more qualified, probably is more talented, probably has a much more amazing resume. But who you hiring? Who you hiring? Bobby Murphy, y'all still don't get it. Y'all still don't get it. Y'all still don't get it. Let's use J. Cole for an example. Right? Because my whole point is that it's never just about one thing. My whole point is that it's never as simple as just come in and do your job. It's never that simple. Nothing in life is that simple. You got, again, let me use J. Cole for an example, right? Let me use J. Cole. Y'all heard that new J. Cole song, right? Port Antonio. Y'all heard that? Sensational rapping. Sensational lyricism. I think J. Cole was one of the best lyricists we've ever seen. Sensational. Sensational rapping. But when you think about the context and what he's talking about and how it correlates to the whole Kendrick Lamar Drake thing, despite the sensational rapping, it doesn't move the needle for me. You want to know why? Because at the end of the day, if you want to be, because again, you know, he's still talking like he's still talking like he one of them ones, and he should be considered one of them ones, right? They calling him J Fold because he threw a jab and said, you know what? I don't want to play no more. I don't want no smoke, Kendrick. Hey, take your best shot, right? Okay. So when you when you have an opportunity to step into the arena and prove you're that guy, again, remember, prior to that beef, J. Cole was murdering everything. People had him as the top lyricist in the game right now. And I was one of them people too. And I'm a Kendrick Lamar fan. But Kendrick Lamar, you know, he wasn't dropping him as Cole. So I'm like, Cole is the one right now. And he was saying he wanted with anybody. But then when it came time to show up and had a smoke, he couldn't do it. He didn't have it in him. He didn't have that killer gene. He didn't have that killer instinct in him. So what I'm trying to say is, if you want to be considered the best J. Cole, it takes more than just being a sensational rapper. Being considered one of the greatest of all time, it takes more than just rapping. I'll put it to you this way. There's more people, there's so many great rappers out there, but they'll never get on because it takes more than just rapping. It takes more than just rapping to be one of the best. You have to show up when it matters most. You got to be battle tested. You got to be charismatic. You got to know how to sell a product. You got to know, you got to be able to understand optics. You got to be able to understand perception. You got to have a high level of self-awareness. So let's bring it back full circle to Nick Sirianni. Bobby Murphy said about Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, he said, I don't care about Jalen Hurts at the podium or being a public speaker. I care about his football. I understand your sentiment, but here's the problem with that. He's more. When you're a franchise quarterback, in the NFL for the Philadelphia Eagles, it takes more than just your football play to be the man. When you are a franchise quarterback, your play is not enough. You got to represent the organization. You got to represent your family. You got to represent all the entities that are attached to you. These guys aren't just football players. These guys aren't just coaches. They get paid millions and millions and millions of dollars. I sounded like Trump when I did that. They get paid millions of dollars to play a kid's game. You better believe it takes more than just throwing the football to be the man. It takes more than just being able to throw a football over the mountains to be the man. You want to know why Tom Brady's the GOAT? Because he knew how to check every box. Not only did he win, he was presidential. He was a leader. Led by example, his habits, on and off the field. Didn't get into trouble. Was married. Model citizen. Held players accountable. You see, it takes more than just being a good player. Ask Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant is a sensational basketball player. Sensational. One of my favorite players ever. But you notice how we don't talk about Kevin Durant in the same light as LeBron James. And there's some people out there that feel like Kevin Durant is better than LeBron James. There's some people that feel like that. But why don't we talk about KD the way we talk about LeBron? Tell me why. Tell me why. Because it takes more than just being a great player to be considered the one or to be considered great. It takes more than that. So again, let's bring it back to Nick Sirianni. I don't want to get too far away. Let's bring it back to Nick Sirianni. Some people say, listen, all I care about is coach. I don't care about the press conference. I don't care about the sideline stuff. I don't care about none of that. Did we win or did we lose? Is he coaching well or is he coaching bad? Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. But it shouldn't stop there, is my problem. Your insight, your perspective isn't wrong. It's short-sighted. That's all. It's short-sighted. Bobby Murphy, you are correct, but it's short-sighted. It always begins and ends with your play. Absolutely. Absolutely. The product on the football field is paramount. It begins and it ends with the performance on the football field and the performance in the coaching ranks. It begins and ends there. But we're talking about a sandwich here. The play of the quarterback is the first slice of bread. The competency and the diligence of your head coach is the other slice of the bread. Everything in between is the performance of the other players, right? The performance of your OC and your DC. It's how you handle the press conferences. It's how you show up. It's how you represent the organization, right? It's how you answer questions. It's how you respond to adversity. Being a head coach in the NFL, being the franchise quarterback takes significantly more than just being talented. Let me take it further. Because, Bobby, you're proving my point now. You can be the best talker ever, but if you can't back it up, it doesn't matter. Exactly. It takes more than just one skill to be the man. It takes more than one facet. Let me, damn, I lost my point. Like I said, it takes more than that. You represent an organization. And then on top of that, your team is still trying to figure out their identity. He has no space or room to be talking trash to anybody on the sideline. I don't care what the circumstance is. It takes more than that. Let me give you another example. Because some people believe, listen, all I care about is the play. As long as you perform, it don't matter. Some people believe that. And there's nothing wrong with that mindset, but it's short-sighted. It's short-sighted. How many people y'all know from the hood was talented, could have went to the league? Let me ask y'all. Be real. Be real. And maybe all y'all are not from the hood. Maybe some of y'all grew up in the suburbs, grew up down south in the country, rural, wherever you from. How many people where you from could have went big to the majors, could have went to the league, could have went to the association? How many people y'all know from y'all past could have made it? Keep it real. How many? Just give me a rough number. Give me a rough number of how many people could have made it and a rough number of how many people actually made it. Give me a rough number of how many people you may know. Give me a rough estimate. And the reason I say this is because if talent and skill and performance was all that mattered, you would see so many people from where you're from making it. Because I know a lot of brothers that could have made it. You want to know why they didn't, though? Because they couldn't check more than one box than talent. They couldn't check more than one box than talent. It's a million talented people out there, but not everybody is capable of checking every box. Not everybody is capable of being a leader, having the work ethic, staying out of trouble. There's so much that goes into being a head coach, so much that goes into being a professional athlete. I would be a lunatic if I would say it's all about the play. Nothing else matters. It's only about the play. It doesn't matter. Wow. That's very short-sighted. So again, bringing it back to Nick Sirianni. And please, you guys, make sure you hit that like button. I appreciate the love and support. We got over 100 people in the building. We only got about 37 likes, 38 likes. Make sure you guys go on the like spree. Smash that like button. I really do appreciate y'all. Thank you for being here. You can't be out here jawing at fans when your team barely beat the Browns, Nick. Under no circumstance is that the move. You got the win. Get out of Dodge and go home. You got the win. Get out of Dodge, go home. Like I said, man, I always respect authenticity. I respect consistency, even if I dislike it. But now we got to start drawing some conclusions. Now we got to start connecting the dots here. We see a head coach who lacks self-awareness at the podium, lacks self-awareness on the sideline. What other areas of his life do you think he lacks self-awareness in? Let me not say his life because I don't know him. What other areas in football do you think he lacks self-awareness in? Let's keep it real. And I want to make this clear. I don't believe Nick Sirianni is a bad person. I don't believe he's a snake. I don't believe Nick Sirianni is the kind of guy to stab you in the back. I actually believe Nick Sirianni is the type of guy to go to war with you. I actually believe Nick Sirianni is the kind of guy you want on the front lines with you because he's going to have your back. I actually believe that. I actually believe Nick Sirianni is the kind of guy you want to go to war with because you know the passion is going to ring true. It's going to ring true. So Nick Sirianni just can't be the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. He can't. And I was one of the people that said, you know what? Firing him would be an overreaction to last season. I was one of those people. I'm on record saying that. Firing Nick Sirianni after last season would be a little bit of an overreaction. I said that. But as we've come full circle, as we've gotten into this season, into the thick of it, and we've seen what we've seen, and experienced what we experienced, and read things we read, that man can't be here. I don't care how this season ends. He can't be here. I know the players do a great job of trying to campaign for him and trying to have his back in the public eye. But I believe in their heart of hearts, they know that man ain't got it. They know it. You know, there was a Twitter exchange. I had a very moderate, a very lighthearted Twitter exchange with Kurt Warner. And you guys know Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer. And trust me, this is not a flex. You guys can just go on the Twitter and just see it. But somebody had Kurt Warner was talking about the Eagles route concepts, and he was saying how basic and how simple they are, and how they haven't evolved or changed since 2022. And somebody retorted with a route chart saying the offense has been different before, all that kind of stuff, and whatever it may be. And I was like, I would love to see Kurt Warner respond to this because, you provided proof to his statement or you provided evidence to contradict his statement. I just want to see what he has to say about that. And, he gave his breakdown of how he views it, whatever. And I respect him for that. And I appreciate him for that. But I said, I bring that up because even though you bring in Kellen Moore, you're still seeing some of the same issues hold true. I'm having a hard time seeing Kellen Moore's impact on his team. I saw it week 1, and we see it sporadically in games. So it's like you have those moments where you say to yourself, damn, is Nick still calling the game? Is Nick still putting his sticky fingers in the damn sauce? I don't know for sure. We would never know for sure. But if your team is still trying to figure out their identity, if your team has not been dominant at all, pump your brakes, Nick. Be humble. 1 week at a time. Simple as that. Let me say this too, because we're about to get out of here in about 10 minutes. Let me say this too. Like I said, I respect his authenticity. I don't respect him not having the courage of his convictions. He backtracked in that press conference, and I didn't like that. But look, at the end of the day, people have no choice. And again, when you're authentic, this is what I'm saying. When you're authentic, at the end of the day, people have no choice but to accept you for who you are. I'm not telling Nick Sirianni to change. I'm telling him to balance. Right? You can be passionate, but you also got to be tactful. Dan Campbell, very passionate guy. He's also tactful and looks like a grown man in the room. Timing has to be a part of that balancing act. Timing has to be a part of the process. Timing has to be included in everything that we do. Optics, timing, perception. It matters when you are the face of a business. It matters. Let me take it as far as this. You could give all that emotion, all that swagger, all that rah-rah. You can be that person behind the scenes. You can give that all to your players. That can be you behind the scenes. Passionate, talking your trash, you know what I'm saying? Having your heart in your sleeve. You feel me? That could be you behind the scenes with your guys, with your crew. But when you're on camera, when you're on that sideline, unless your team just did a miraculous play or a dope play or a touchdown or a game winning moment, whatever it is, like I don't need to see you all rah-rah acting immature on the sideline. Look, Sean McVay is a very passionate guy on the sidelines. Sean McVay, very passionate on the sidelines. The Harbaughs, they're very passionate on the sidelines. But there's still a level of tact in how they move. Still. How many times have we heard stories about Bill Belichick having a sense of humor, actually being a cool guy behind the scenes? We're actually seeing a new side to Bill Belichick on television, on Inside the NFL. We saw a different side to Bill Belichick at Tom Brady's roast. Right? How often have we heard those stories about Bill Belichick actually being a pretty cool dude behind the scenes? But guess what? When he's in front of that media, when he's in front of at that podium, when he's on camera, as far as like in the football space as a head coach, he's very, very measured in what he says. He's very, very measured in what he gives back to the media. He's very, very measured to anybody, with everybody. Loose lips sink ships. And Bill Belichick has never had loose lips. Pause. So all I'm trying to say is, Nick, you've been the head coach for the Philadelphia Eagles for 4 seasons. And I have not seen any growth, any maturity from him as a coach, as a leader. At this point in time, he's unpredictable. He's rambunctious. And quite frankly, I don't know if we can trust him. No, we can't trust him right now. We can't. And look, he may hear this, he may not. He may hear this, he may not. But I got a job to do. I got a responsibility. I'm always going to be fair as much as I can. I'm always going to be honest. Like I said to you guys earlier, when it comes to bringing the kids up to the podium, he probably already had that plan if they won the game. Probably so. So I want to be measured in how I approach that. Even though I still feel how I feel about it, I understand and I accept the premise that he could have potentially already had that lined up if they won the game. And that's me trying to be fair. I'm a passionate dude. I know what that is. I know what that is. I know what that's like. Sometimes you can't hold it in. Sometimes you got to let it rip. I get that. I feel that. But your team is still mediocre. Your team has not proven that they're a contender yet. You can't be out there talking shit like that. Not yet. How about this? Win 2 games in a row first. Win 2 games in a row first. Get on a little winning streak first. Get some breathing room between you and the rest of the conference or the division first. How about you do that? How about you do that first before you start talking crazy on the sideline? Before you get too excited about beating the Browns 20-16. How about you build some equity first? How about you help your quarterback get out of his turnover woes? How about you let Kellen Moore do his job? How about you start there, and then maybe you could talk some shit on the sideline. Then maybe we'll let you get excited. How about we start there first?